Sets up the middle. This one intercepted. Picked off in the flat. It's Lynch.
You're better off just rolling it down the field, the 40-yard line, than kicking a line drive to number 15.
And here he goes. The quarterback is on the loose. Here's Post up the middle. Post has got a seam and he's gone. Purdy makes one-man miss, spins away from a second. 10, still alive at the 5. Play action, Black to throw. Caught by Soden. Finley to his left, throws across the body, looking for Peters. He's got him on the run. Meanwhile, handoff. He's gone. Look out. To the house, Emmanuel Post. They're going to air it out. Deep down the near sideline. Touchdown! Unbelievable. The holder is Sabati. It's clean. The kick is up. Good. And good. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome here to Nashua. Nick and Astis, Steve Beals with you, getting set for our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Keene and Nashua South getting set to battle on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in week number 2. Both these teams kind of surprised victors last week in week number 1 to open up the season. Nashua South took on crosstown rival Bishop Girton. Jumped out to a 2-score lead early. Cardinals came back, but longtime head coach Scott Knight's group pulled it off in OT. And on the other side, Keene, it was never close. 42-7 over Spalding to notch another win for head coach Linwood Patnode. Both teams jumped into the top 10, the New Hampshire Union Leader Power Poll top 10, and sit at 6 and 7 respectively. South at 6 and Keene at 7. A little bit of a contrast of styles on display this afternoon, but one thing for sure, both teams are going to go full gear to try and exit the field with their second win of the season.
Athletes, watching pregame, Nick, both teams have some good athletes on the field. As you said, Nick, Coach Patnode style versus Coach Knight style, very different. But there are some common themes about, the way they coach. They have high expectations on defense. Both of these teams are programmed to have those defenses, keep them in the game. And specifically, Coach Patnode likes to control 6, 7, 8-minute offensive drives. And even if he doesn't score, to take time off the clock, he feels as though that's going to play to his advantage against a more high-powered offense. Talking about last week's game with BG, I was able to watch the whole game on ETV. And I have to tell you that I really admired South's stamina and their willingness to play 4 strong quarters. And I think that was the difference. I think that game was extremely close. It went right down to the wire. Kind of an exciting game to watch. And I talked to one of the coaches of South, and they really respect Bishop Girton of how close it was, and they had opportunities to win the game as well, Nick. So, coming out of last week, as we move into here, I think these 4 teams, Goffstown, BG, Keene, and South, are part of that mid-tier right now that have established themselves, as you pointed out, in the top 10. And it's going to be very interesting to see them match up against others, but most importantly, how they match up against each other, because these teams could be playing each other in the playoffs without a doubt.
September, but still a big game.
Still
week
a
2.
Big game.
As you pointed out, these two teams could be vying for playoff positioning come the end of the year. It is a big crowd. As we take a look at the stands here at Stello Stadium, most of the action concentrated to our left. There's a pretty good student section here of Nashua South supporters, and of course the Purple Panther Marching Band is here as well. Of course, off air, got to listen to them approach that pregame tradition that stretches back a ways. They walk from the school, which is
right down the road.
Yeah, and across the parking lot into the stadium, and they were heard loud and clear the whole march down. So setting the tone here. Keene already on the field, as you can see, waiting for South to emerge from the entrance. Got a few minutes here, Steve. Your thoughts on what this may come down to? Give us some keys both ways.
Well, you've got two great runners in 72. Watch them, Cameron Olivo, as well as Evan Ray, who we got a chance to see last year and even the year before a little bit. Two outstanding linemen. Coach Pat knows that they're a key to the game. If they can penetrate and cause havoc defensively and control the line of scrimmage offensively, that leads so well into his run game. I have heard, I didn't see the Keene game, but I've heard they passed it half a dozen times in that game. So that's
which is a lot for them.
A lot for Coach Patnote. So what that tells me, Nick, is that they're winning the running game the last week, and as a result out of that, they're forcing back box stacking, and then they're play actioning out of it. And that's what Coach Patnote, when he decides to pass, certainly can understand that. As far as South is concerned, Nick, their key is going to be able to take some of their athletes and get them in open space, in my opinion, and get separation from the defensive backs. I have not seen Keene, but you've got to stand to reason with his offense that he's going to have to get a higher passing yard number, and I think Keene needs to score early. Nashua South needs to score early. They both do, really. Whoever scores first in this game, I think, is going to have an advantage because I just got to believe going in that they're relatively even. Special teams, the kicking game in a game like this, Nick, where it's probably going to be tight. I'd be surprised if there's a blowout. It's always possible. You never know early in the season. But the kicking game, I think, could be the deciding factor on special teams in this game.
All right, when we come back, coin toss, opening kick, national anthem, all that in some kind of order. Either way, kickoff at top of the hour. We are back in just a moment. Week 2 action, Keene and Nashua South in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week presented by Beals Insurance. Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com. Well, a great rendition of the national anthem provided by the Nashua South Band. The captains are at midfield. The coin toss about to take place. And then the kickoff here moments away on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. It's our game of the week. We're presented by Beals Insurance. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. Both teams 1-0. hoping to go 2-0. And, of course, last night, a busy night statewide, not just in Division I, but throughout all 4 NHI football divisions. Bedford, the defending D1 champs, they're in action today. That's a 1 o'clock start. In fact, that game already underway up in Scarborough, Maine against Thornton Academy. The game you and I were at, Steve, saw Bishop Girton at Goffstown. Grizzlies playing just their second game ever under the lights in program history, and that was a good one. Back and forth, BG grabbed an early lead, and despite the best efforts of Coach Preston's Grizzlies, Goffstown never quite able to catch up as BG hangs on to earn their first victory, 28-20. Merrimack, they got their first win last night, 27-6 over Timberlane. Tough sledding here on this field last night for Nashua North as they were defeated handily by Exeter, 36-0.
Yeah, I mean, that game, why don't we start with the game we did last night, Nick? Goffstown got nothing to be ashamed of in the effort and the intensity department. Those kids played their hearts out, but looks like they played their hearts out, and Coach Preston really showed. We saw that on our Gridiron show on Thursday night, Nick, where you could see the kind of energy and intensity in Coach Preston, and you saw that out in the field. From what I understand, he was very proud of them in his post-game speech last night. Obviously went after them for a lot of, unfortunate, arguably senseless penalties that I can't go as far as to say it cost the game, but it certainly cost their opportunity to win. Let's put it that way. And that game was 28-20, so give them a lot of credit as we go. We can start talking about other games as we move on here, but interesting night as everything begins to come together.
For sure. Nashua South, following an overtime victory last week on this field against Bishop Girton, they're going to receive the opening kick to begin the game. Keene in their road whites set to kick off the tee in the middle of the 40-yard line. And here we go. Braden French, the sophomore, puts it in play with a squib. It is handled by one of the upmen, Bruno Goncalves, who just hits the turf with the ball secured. So short kick and decent starting field position for Scott Knight's offense. Purple Panthers will snap the ball at the 36 here momentarily. It's an offense that has looked dynamic at times in the recent past. Got off to that fast start a week ago in the victory over Bishop Girton, and they open here with a 4-receiver spread. 3 to the strong side right. They run the football, however. Samuel Levine can't find any running room. Stopped up front, Miles DeRozier able to spearhead the defensive effort for Keene. It's a loss of 1. Second down and 11. South going to stay right at the line and look to get set here right away. Quarterback is Cody Jackson. He's going to let it rip down the near sideline. Incomplete, trying to find Josh Tripp. However, a flag is thrown. Little bit of contact there, perhaps a bit early, and that could be the first penalty against Keene here so far today.
Yeah, well, that, Nick, kind of leads into one of our keys to the game, and that is getting distance and separation by the South receivers. He was able to do that. He ran his route properly. Something about he was called. If you see in the replay here, is the fact that he was facing the receiver, got kind of in his face. All he's got to do is look back and establish body position and try to block the ball that way. He did not do that, and the official made a great call. So, as we relate it to our keys to the game, Nick, certainly on the first offensive play of the game, some separation was gained.
Yep. And Ladd, a player to watch tonight. Not Ladd, but Tripp. Josh Tripp, number 11 in purple, lined out wide to the near side of your screen. A run play, Colin Levesque tries to slip inside the 50. Does cross mid. In front.
You have in that down. You got at least
is Colin Levesque. It's going to go for 9 yards and a fresh set of down on the way for the home team.
You know, if you've got 3 down linemen, that leaves you 8 that down with 8 players. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. Great job there.
Levesque left side, nowhere to go. Stood up at the line of scrimmage. He's one of their standout. It's a loss of 2 and now a 3rd down and 10 facing the Purple Panthers.
Well, this is playing right into Coach Pat Notes type style defensive football, Nick. He doesn't want you running on them. He'd rather have you try to pass. But if they can cover that, so far this 3-man front's doing a terrific job.
Jackson flushed out of the pocket. It's a big hit. Somehow. One of the juniors here. And now they're saying the ball came loose and South has it.
Wow, what a big turnaround.
Well, kind of an unexpected declaration there from referee Jason Patch. As the players themselves seem surprised. The ball comes out at the tail end of the run. And Nashua South is going to take over following the game's first turnover. So Keene runs one play, they give it right back. And now with 2 backs in the backfield, we see Jackson. It's a handoff right side. This is Gus Smiley. Senior makes the second level. He loses the football.
Looks like Keene
says they have it, and they do.
Wow.
Back-to-back fumbles lost. South with a takeaway a moment ago. They give it right back. It appeared like Derek play, but either way, Keene.
They brought some assets and personnel over to the to that right side. That's exactly where the run went. Generally speaking, that's just good film work and recognizing the play and reacting to it with a better defensive front.
The ball carrier, Aiden Iowanu, had nowhere to go. Did scratch out a yard at the tail end of the run. It's 3rd down and 3. South, 2 men standing on the edge here in that base 3-4. Gun snap, and look out. Hitting the backfield, second effort is going to make this close.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. That is like 4th and a foot, Nick. Very interesting to see what Coach Patino does. I mean, if you believe in your run and your kicker doesn't, you don't really, I don't know. They may have a great kicker. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, the quarterback jogging back into the huddle.
I think they're going to go.
4th down and less than a yard. Football at the Keene 33. They're going to pack it in here.
I think he trusts his defense too, Nick.
Iwano is the fullback.
He got it on a flag.
There's a pile. If the play stands, I think Keene has the first down, but let's see what the flag is about.
Push.
It appears to be against the Blackbirds.
Oh, I think they're
the tush push illegal, right? Was that what that is?
It's either that or they're going after the sideline from the coaching staff coming out on the field, Nick.
Either way, 5-yard penalty. Second against.
No, that changes things.
Sorry, the first against Keene.
You saw that last night too. At key times.
No, I was right the first time. Second penalty.
Yeah,
against Keene. 2 for 20 yards so far in this first quarter. Good punt by Braden French. Line drive handled by Tripp. Almost coughed it up. Had to hang on to the football with one hand. Wrapped up immediately by the gunner, Colin Tinnan. One of their faster players, able to speed his way downfield and secure the tackle. Nearly midway through first quarter. And we have a timeout down on the field. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. By the New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing, family-owned business for over 50 years. Start your project today at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you on a sunny afternoon here in mid-September. Week number 2 statewide. Both these teams, Keene and Nashua South, looking for their second wins of the season. On the rollout, pass is complete. It's Jackson who hooks up with Levesque. Good-looking play there. It goes for an even 10 yards and a first down.
Yeah, you got a 3-man defensive front, Nick. You've got to have better defensive pass coverage than that. He was way off the ball. Got to start reading these plays and figuring out which guy has which receiver.
Look out. Ball loose, picked up off the bounce by Levesque, trying to get his way back to the line of scrimmage. He's dropped by one of the Keene captains, Peyton Gowell, at about the 45-yard line of South. Could have been worse. They lose 3 in the end to set up a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, definite trend we're seeing here. Anything with the run against South, Keene's just doing a terrific job. They are for real on the run defense game, but they're going to have to tighten up here on South's pass game.
Jackson fakes the handoff. He's got time. He goes deep, but nobody home. Trying to find Tripp again. Overthrows him by 5 yards or so. 3rd and long coming up.
Yeah, to me, Nick, that looked like there was a mix-up on the play. It looked to me like he was throwing more of a deep slant inside, and he kind of curled about 10, 15 yards out. And to me, looks like they had the plays mixed up. Somebody did.
Empty set again. 5 receivers on 3rd and 13. Jackson looks over at Coach Knight. And the junior quarterback having a back and forth in real time here.
A lot of
Keene with 8 men in coverage. Gun snap. Plenty of time, but hit from behind. Does complete it. At midfield, it's Tripp inside the 45. Fights his way inside the 40 and a first down.
What a terrific job there.
16 yards. A lot of that hard sledding after the catch there for Jordan Tripp. His first grab of the afternoon.
Kind of Gronk-esque there, the way he recognized where the first down marker was, and he was not going to be denied, and he used that tall, rugged frame protected the football well, and drove for first down. That's a big play there for South to maintain possession.
Well, they've dominated time of possession here so far in this first half. They've had the football for all but 5 snaps. On 1st and 10, it's a quarterback keeper. Jackson goes straight ahead. Finds room at the second level, drops the shoulder, and he may have another first down. Yes, he does. It goes for 11 as Jackson, after completing 4 passes through the air, shows you what he can do with his legs on that 11-yard gain.
Yep. Nice movement of the football here. Nice play sequencing.
And they're right back up to the line yet again. Now we do get a whistle.
Timeout, right? Yeah,
we
Keene.
have a timeout by Keene as the defense not quite set there. Coach Pat Node wanted to hit the pause button.
Yeah, wants to hit the pause button. I think that's a good call, Nick. His defense looked a little tired, looked like they need a break, looked a little disoriented. It's a critical part in the game. Again, we talked about one of the keys here is who scores first is going to be a big factor in this game. And, Coach Pat Node is very aware of that, I'm sure, and wants to make sure he starts improving that defensive backfield coverage. But most of all, just kind of getting the team together and recognize how important this juncture is.
Well, if you're just joining us, Nashua South, after a lengthy drive, got shut down on 4th down. Keene took over. And on their first play from scrimmage, lost a fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a short field for Nashua South. The very next play after that, they lose the football themselves and give it right back to Keene. So a punt a moment ago, and now the Purple Panthers on the march, looking to get into the red zone for the first time. It's a handoff here for Justin Fish. Fish, the sophomore, trying to find the boundary. He ends up at the 20-yard line after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, nice job stretching the field out, Nick. There was nothing to do to cut inside. Use a little bit of that speed to be able to get a good 4 yards.
2 backs will join Jackson here. Out of the gun, fake handoff, run action. Jackson fakes the pitch. There's a flag on the play. He's inside the 10, fights his way to the 5. The ball comes out. Keene again says they have it, and they do, but hang on. There's a flag.
Yeah, pretty good.
Back at the 15-yard line.
Pretty sure that's a holding call, Nick, against South.
Well, certainly a good effort there by Jackson, the junior quarterback.
I think it's a hold. Yep.
But he loses the football at the end of that run at the 4-yard line. So Keene with their second takeaway defensively.
How important is that?
They're going to bring the offense back on the field with just over 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter.
Yeah, I give Coach Pat Node a lot of credit for calling that defensive timeout, Nick. The defense is struggling a little bit, but one thing they're not doing is that one thing they are doing is hitting hard. And that's what's jarring these balls loose. And they're also hitting together. There's pop kind of, and it's just difficult to hold on to the football. That is a big break for the Blackbirds at this point. Let's see what they can do with it on O.
From their own 4-yard line, Abbott out of the end zone's got to get rid of it. This one is dropped and incomplete. Looking for Iowanu out of the backfield, but the back, who is usually sure-handed, could not reel that one in.
Well, it never works out well when you look at an open receiver, then look away from him, then look at him again and pass it. He needed to throw that ball right on the initial flare-out, and if he did, he had a lot of yardage. Probably would have got up at least beyond the 20-yard line. But when you look away after you've looked at him and then you look back, so much time has passed, gives the defense number 6. Let's see who that is. Was able to recover.
That's Diego Cabrera, the corner.
Exactly, and did a nice job recovering there, but was a little late to pick him up. There was an opportunity there for Keene.
2nd down and 10. Abbott back under center. The junior drops the snap. Fortunately for Keene, it looks like he's able to fall on it and recover, but they do lose a down. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Slippery ball today, Nick, or something. I don't know what. I mean, I didn't expect ball control to be an issue today. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, between drops and snaps and fumbles, I think that's number 6. If I'm not mistaken, that's a lot before the first quarter is even done.
Yeah, we've seen 3 combined fumbles lost.
Yep,
and a number hit the turf as well. To your point, so Keene trying to avoid the big mistake here, backed up in their own end. 3rd down and 4 as the clock ticks down towards 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. 5 on the line here for South. 2 backs. Join Abbott. Takes a high snap. Airs it out and just misses his target. Incomplete. The wide receiver, Colin Tinnan, got the step against double coverage, but the timing a little off. It leads to an incompletion.
I think that's a good pass. Let's take a look at the replay. You're going to see if we can pick up the receiver here. Well, you don't see it right there, but he did slow down a little bit in the middle of the route, which so many high school players do. You've got to sprint to the spot. The quarterback will get it to you. He threw a nice gun there.
Braden French is the punter. He's got a couple of feet to spare in the back of his end zone here. Takes a waist-high kick and barely gets it off. This one spirals sideways, lands at the Keene 40, takes a roll backward to the Blackbird 37.
Not really, unless he was told to do that, Nick. I don't understand why he didn't get under that, because there was nobody within 20 yards at the time the ball came down. He could have at least caught it and avoided a bounce to the negative, if nothing else. I think he had some room down the right lane to run it. So playing it kind of conservative there, but fortunately for them, for South, the ball kind of bounded backwards and didn't really affect it much.
So the game of field position continues. South with their shortest field yet. They start at the Keene 37-yard line. First down and 10, back to work for Cody Jackson. Going to air it out down the far sideline, and this one is incomplete. Some bump and grind coverage there intended for Diego Cabrera.
Yeah.
With him step for step there was French. That brings up second and 10.
I thought that was Lepley. That's not was that 34? 30. I thought it was 34.
I believe it was both. French is number 14. And to your point, Sawyer Lepley, the co-captain, number 34.
Yeah, well, either way,
as well.
That was good coverage right there. That's what they need to do, Nick, is to...
There's Jackson going to roll out left side, throws. It's caught at the 35, weaves his way up to the 30. First grab for Justin Fish. He had a carry earlier as well. The sophomore able to pick up 7. Sets up a manageable third down and 3 inside of 3 minutes here in the scoreless first quarter.
Nice job by Jackson there.
Hand off, straight give.
He's going to get it.
Sam Levine able to plunge down inside the 30. He's got the first down at the 26. 7-yard pickup in the end. Well, the Purple Panthers, they've been moving the football, Steve. A number of first downs here in this first quarter.
Yeah, but
the 2 turnovers looming large as this game remains scoreless.
I've got them around 78, 80 yards worth of offense, Nick, so far, and that might be light.
This one overthrown, incomplete. Fish on an out pattern. Couldn't reel it in over the shoulder.
Yeah, ball sailed a little bit out of his hands.
Second down and 10.
Looked to me like he was like Jackson was backing up just a little bit, Nick, as he threw the ball, and it just caused it to sail. But he's got a good arm. Both quarterbacks have a good arm so far from what I've seen today. Good velocity.
Jackson calls his own number. Takes it up the middle, spins his way down to the 20-yard line for a gain of 6.
Well, I don't know what the South has for third down conversions, Nick, but it's been pretty good because they've been able to knock off a lot of yardage on third down, like 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and get the first down. This is a drive here, Nick, that if South can't convert after 3 times inside the red zone, this is the 3rd time, right? I believe it is. There's at least 2, and I think this is the 3rd. If they don't score here, it's going to make Keene feel pretty good.
3rd and 3.
Nothing. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, that whole snap shut very quickly. Evan Ray at the bottom of that pile somewhere, one of the better two-way players statewide, number 70 in white. Able to wrap up and bring down Levine. So, 4th down and 4. Offense, they're staying on the field. Coach Knight's got something in mind here. Officially 4th and 3 from the 19. Final $1:20 here, first quarter. Keene hoping for another 4th down stop. Man in motion, Levine, and they'll blow it dead.
Oh, boy. Key penalties we've seen, Nick, kind of beginning of season stuff here, where so many of the games that we've seen, 4th and 3, 4th and 2, 3rd and 5 or something, it's just penalties.
Saw that last night.
We saw that last night at critical times by Goffstown mostly. And BG even had a couple.
It was a good game last night. You can watch it, of course, on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. 4th down and 3. Jackson finds Fish, who finds the 20-yard line.
He's going to be short.
Cannot make the 16 where he needed to go. He's tackled about a yard and a half short. Eli Kopka, one of the Keene captains there, to make sure that the drive ends at the 19-yard line officially. So Keene, they get another stop. To your point, second straight drive that has ended inside the red zone. And South still with a goose egg on the board here with a minute and 1 second remaining first quarter.
I think we're getting clear proof, Nick, here why Spalding wasn't able to really score that much on Keene last week, because their defense is for real and ready in season form. I do notice I am concerned a little bit about the amount of time that they've been on the field, Nick, as far as getting some fatigue out there. But so far they're holding up, and I think the one time they were starting to struggle, little Coach Patton out called a timely timeout, as they say.
I believe Keene has only run 5 plays on offense.
It can't be much more than that.
And this is drive number 3. Abbott back in the gun. Handoff to Iowanu. Hit right away.
Well,
leans his way forward to about the 20-yard line. The defensive lineman who gave him a bear hug, that's Kevin Hamill, the junior for Nashua South. No gain on the play, 2nd down.
Let's give South a lot of credit for their defensive game plan coming in, Nick, at least so far in the first quarter. Done a great job of reading the plays. They've obviously seen them in film, and they're reacting to them very, very well.
They've been able to bottle up Iowanu, who has just 3 yards on 3 carries.
Yep.
Handoff. Better hold this time for Lepley. Going to be wrestled down at about the 24-yard line. Gain of 4, maybe 5. That cuts the distance in half. Yep. 3rd down and 5. And most likely that was the final play of the first quarter. A game of field position and turnovers through 12 minutes here in the Gate City. No score. Keene looks to keep their drive alive when we come back. Second quarter next. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
No score after 1 here at Stello Stadium in Nashua. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Be sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Of course, that's our platform of choice in the channel FNLNH Media. Hit the subscribe button. 2 broadcasts per week all throughout the fall. Well, we saw 3 turnovers combined in that first quarter. The Keene defense came away with two takeaways. But the Blackbird offense has not really been able to get going. South dominating the time of possession in that first quarter. But the 2 turnovers hurt them, Steve.
Definitely.
And a couple of turnovers on downs as well, including a moment ago inside the red zone. Meanwhile, 3rd penalty of the afternoon comes against Keene. A false start. 3 for 25 so far for the visitors. Just 1 penalty for 5 yards so far against Nashua South.
Very easily could be 14-0 now, right, Nick? Just with being able to finish those 3 drives. Just if they just finished 2 of them, it'd be 14-zip. But Keene has drawn some fumbles as well. So
back to throw, Abbott. Just trying to chuck this towards the sideline. He does so successfully before the walls came closing down. That brings up a 4th down and 11. So the punt unit back on to work. Again, deep out of their own end. Field position has been favoring Nashua South. As Keene on one drive had to start from their own 3-yard line, another at their own 10.
Offense right now for the Blackbirds is struggling, Nick, for sure. They just can't really establish anything on the run game.
4th and 11. French's kick is blocked. The ball loose. It goes back out of bounds out of the back of the end zone for a safety.
Wow.
That's what, excuse me, one of the captains, Kevin Ndubisi. And Ndubisi almost untouched there, able to use that long length to his advantage, comes off the edge, goes up the middle, and gets that big right paw on the football.
Yeah, he was bound and determined, Nick. There was nothing going to stop him. Little bit of lackadaisical on the speed in which the kick, Nick. I'm surprised he didn't step to the side or take and run. There was no question he had the defender had won the battle to block the kick, and he just kind of continued to kick it. And Dubese did everything what he's supposed to do to be able. This at least gets South on the board and in a good position as well.
So a block punt safety breaks the scoreless tie. Just 8 seconds into this second quarter. So 2-0 South. And that also forces Keene to tee it up from their own 20 ahead of this upcoming kick for Braden French. Well, we had seen...
We talked about that. Special teams.
Yeah, you highlighted that at the top of the broadcast. And Ed Dubese, he came close back in the first quarter to blocking another Keene punt. This time he gets all the way home, and it ends up on the scoreboard.
It just didn't have the kind of intensity, Nick, on the kick that you need to be able to pick up everyone. So
here's a squib. It's going to get through the first 2 lines before it's fielded on the bounce by Colin Kochenik.
Nice contain there by...
And Kochenik runs out of room here in the middle of the field.
Jacob
Calkins is there for the special teams tackle. Still good starting field position, as has been the case more often than not for Coach Knight and the Purple Panthers. Both teams 1-0 on this early season. Overtime win for South last week against inner-city rival Bishop Girton. Keene smashed Spalding in a battle of East versus West out in Keene. So a winner here improves to 2-0. The loser will drop to 1-1. Another series for the junior quarterback, Cody Jackson, and it does not begin the way he had hoped. Evan Ray wraps him up and is credited for the sack. Cam Olivo was the first man there, however, and that 1-2 punch, they play together on the same side of the offensive line as well. It pays off defensively here for Keene.
Well, no argument from there's no argument that these 3 guys, these 3 down linemen, are a huge part of this football game of why it's only 2-0.
Here's Tripp on his second touch, spins his way back to the original line of scrimmage as he makes a move to his right, picks up about 5 yards, met at the boundary and tackled by Miles DeRozier.
South obviously happy to get the 2-point safety, but they still haven't penetrated the end zone, Nick. And, as long as nobody's done that, you're going to be in the game. And so South is it has to learn how to finish. They've been working down the field pretty well. Keene just can't really get any get their offensive unit started.
4 receivers set, quick throw near side, and another good hands catch. Happens near midfield. Ladd with another grab, his second catch. I believe they're going to spot him right at the 50-yard line. So, a 4th down and 4 on the way. South going to roll the dice, it looks like.
Yep.
And keep Jackson on the field. Meanwhile, hard count. Now Jackson goes back to the line of scrimmage. Takes a gun snap. Handoff is Levine. Bursts through the hole. He's got a first down and then some. Yes. Spins his way down to the 35-yard line. A 15-yard gain on 4th down.
Thought the Blackbirds started off, Nick, in my opinion, with that kind of energy advantage, but it didn't last long. Right now, you can see it's just shifting, certainly offensively, and I would say both the attitude and the energy that that South is playing with right now.
Of course, we've seen this pace from the get-go with South. This no-huddle offense, very up-tempo. It can be hard for defenses to adjust in real time. Meanwhile, just a 1-yard gain that time for Colin Levesque. Sets up 2nd down and 9. It's a quarterback keeper. It's Jackson inside the 20, the 15, and he tumbles his way down to the 10-yard line.
Well, he saw the end pinned in. It's kind of like a tackle, really, with a 3-man front, the gaps that they play in. And he got completely caved in, and there was no linebacker, Nick, rolling outside, you'll see here. And it just completely opened up, and then
16-yard gain in the end.
Yeah,
on 1st and 10, handoff left side. Levesque trying to find the corner. Slips at the 7-yard line and goes down inbounds just shy of the 5. Still a pretty good run, about 7 yards to set up a 2nd down and a long 3.
Kopsha, nice job to run that down on the left-hand side there, Nick. Saved a touchdown.
Right back to the line. First down marker at the 2-yard line. Jackson looks for a screen. It's Fish. Catch. And did he get in?
No, he did not. 1-yard line.
He landed out of bounds. The ball came loose. He tried to stretch out the arm and find the pylon. And fortunately, it bounced where it did for Nashua South. That could have been a live ball.
But a first down.
Yep. So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. South threatening to make this an 8-0 lead with 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Levine is the back to the left of Jackson. They go to Levine. He's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, this
a 1-yard plunge. South, they get the safety defensively, or on special teams more accurately. The ensuing drive, they go just over 60 yards in a little under 3 minutes. It's capped off by a 1-yard touchdown plunge for Sam Levine, the junior. Now the old swinging gate here on the extra point try. See how this plays out. Jackson is going to take the snap. They throw a screen pass. It is caught by Kochenek.
Don't really get that play, Nick. Why are you throwing right in traffic? I mean, you've got to be able to adjust from that, Nick. If you're going to run that play and they're going to react defensively like that, why in the world do you not have the opportunity, if nothing else, have the quarterback run to the right corner? That just doesn't make any sense to me.
So they get the touchdown, but fail on the 2-point try.
Yeah, and now it's still within a one-score game.
A one-score game.
I don't know. I think in that particular situation, the way this game has progressed, I would have gone for the kick, Nick. But boy, if you're going to go for 2, okay. But you've got if you're going to load up and the defense loads up on the same side with you, you've got to have a secondary call there.
So 8-0. About 3 minutes gone by. In this second quarter, despite the 2 turnovers, Nashua South on their home field, able to play some very strict defense, got a special teams play, and they get the short rushing score to increase the lead to 8-zip.
Yeah, Raven, Olivo, and Uyghur, Nick, are just never coming off the field. And you could see on that drive there, they're just kind of out of gas, and no wonder.
Here's the kick off the right foot of Preston Boys. Fielded inbounds by the quarterback / returner, Kaysen Abbott, who finds a little bit of daylight along that far sideline, ends up stepping out of bounds at about the 26-yard line.
Yep.
And based on the starting field position we've seen for Keene in this first half, they'll take their own 26, one of their better starting points.
Basically been defending inside the 5-yard line every time they get the ball back. So it's going to be interesting to see how they change the play calling here. Maybe get a little bit more aggressive, given the fact they've got 25 yards behind them. But you're right, Nick. It's been really, really deep in their own end that they've had to try to offensively move out of. So be interesting to see here.
Abbott, gun snap, throw is caught. It's Lepley able to work out of the slot this time. I believe that's Abbott's first completion. Goes for 4 yards to set up a 2nd down and 6. Well, Lepley, one of those players that they can really line up all over the field, including the fullback spot in the backfield. We see his slot receiver skills there. Keene just trying to put some plays together here. I don't believe, Steve, that they have picked up a first down yet. After limited snaps taken on offense
gonna now.
In that first quarter. They're very close here with Abbott.
Yeah, he's got it.
Sandwiched at the end by both Tripp and Gus Smiley for Nashua South. It's a 7-yard pickup and a first down, the first of the game for Keene.
I really like the play. I mean, it's so important for quarterback, Nick, to be able to read the defensive front, especially the front seven. And if there's just an open seam left there, with a quarterback like that who can run the ball, runs it pretty well, let him run it and let him move the sticks a few times and stop feeling like you're going downhill for a change.
Two backs, one to each side of Abbott on 1st and 10. The junior throws it incomplete.
Yeah, looked like a fall down.
Yeah, Lepley lost his footing on that turf. Again, operating out of the slot. That brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yep. Keene used to playing on grass, but
seems like kind of a dying breed, at least in Division I.
Yeah, Division I, it's pretty well out. I think you got Keene, Merrimack.
You can cross Goffstown off that list.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah,
they put in the turf on the off season. We saw that last night, part of a great back and forth.
Spalding, are they
against
on grass?
Bishop Girton?
I think Spalding. I was up there a year and a half ago. I don't think they are.
2nd and 10, stretch play near side. Iowano can't find the edge.
Good defensive edge work right there with some support.
That's Nathan Case, the senior, in the proper spot to make the tackle.
And Philip Lewis,
3-yard loss. 3rd down and 13 as Iowano continues to struggle in terms of finding some rushing room here. He's at 0 yards unofficially on 4 carries.
Well, these big offensive and defensive linemen, Nick, as I said, have been on the field a lot. There's a few of them that are replaced here.
3rd and 13. A 5-man rush. Abbott feels the heat, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage. Stuffed up front by Trevor Stevens.
Yeah.
One of the bigger players on the roster. The junior gets great penetration there. No gain officially. 4th down and 13. And again, the South defense steps up.
Well, what's going on right now, Nick, is you just don't have enough players at the offensive blockers at the point of attack, and South has more defenders. So it's not going to work too well when they're swarming the play. First of all, they're reading the play and reacting well, and they're really loading the zone where they know it's going. It's not working.
Good punt here. As Cabrera had to backstep to reel that one in. And eventually able to find his way back to the 28-yard line. That's where South will take over. You get a timeout here on the field. 80 degrees here in Nashua. The sun is out. There's some umbrellas scattered throughout the crowd. That, of course, not for the rain, but to block out the sun and provide a little bit of shade. Not too breezy. Frankly, it feels like early August here in mid-September. And the crowd has turned out. One of the few Division I Saturday afternoon games this week in week number 2. In fact, this crowd has grown larger since the game got going just shy of 2 o'clock. If you're just joining us, a game of field position in that first quarter. A combined 3 turnovers, 2 takeaways by the Keene defense. Kept South off the board despite the home team moving the football pretty consistently. It was 0-0 going into the second quarter. Then a block punt resulted in a safety. South gets on the board. Ensuing drive, they pieced together a pretty good-looking drive, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown run by Sam Levine moments ago. The 2-point conversion failed. So that is where we are, 8-0 Nashua South. Levine here is stopped near the line of scrimmage. Forward progress gets him a yard. Both teams have bottled up the run pretty consistently. Keene still working out of this base 3-4. Here's Fish on a receiver screen trying to find the perimeter. And he's ridden down inbound shy of the sideline. Another tackle for Jacob Calkins, who has been busy defensively for Keene. It limits the gain for Fish to just 2 yards. So, 3rd down and 7 as we just crossed the midway point of this second quarter. South remains in up-tempo mode. A quick snap, a quick throw, and a catch over the middle. Going to result in about 4 yards, but not enough. Well covered. Griffin Yardley was all over Fish there. Slams him to the turf at the 37-yard line. So 4th down and 2, a long 2. And Coach Knight going to ponder this one for a moment as we tick down towards 5 minutes to go. He's going to leave the offense on the field. Handoff. It is Levesque left side, and he is close to a first down. Needed to find the 39. And I think they're going to mark him at the 40. A second straight tackle for Griffin Yardley, but not in time for Keene. South gets the 4th down conversion they were hoping for. As Levine gets 3. Handoff on 1st and 10. Fish again. He's been active in this first half, both in the run game and in the passing game. Going to get himself 3 here as he works the football up to the 43-yard line. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Again, no huddle. 2 receivers each side. Receiver screen. Catch made. It's Cabrera. His second grab. He's going to lean over the 45 up to the 46. A 2-yard gain. Well covered again. Peyton Gowell, one of the captains, with another tackle for Keene. Meanwhile, slow to get up is Cabrera.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he went down earlier.
And now he is back on his feet.
Yeah, I thought his knee went down.
And he's going to stay on the field. Third down and 6 officially, inside of 4 minutes. Back to throw, Jackson with time, fires a strike, and it's Levine for the catch and a first down. Into Keene territory at the 47-yard line. Ridden out of bounds by Gowell. But a good throw and catch there. He's going to move the sticks again for South. They pick up another first down here and get right back to the line, ready to go. Back to throw. Deep down the seam. Catch made at the 10 and tackled at the 5 is Colin Levesque. That's a big hookup of 42 yards. It is the longest play from scrimmage either way in this first half. It's going to set up a first down and goal. They actually spot the ball just shy of the 6-yard line. So 42 through the air. Clock continuing to tick down towards 3 minutes. South threatening to make this a 2-score lead. They go back to Levesque, hitting the hole. Leans forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. Another tackle for Kopka, the linebacker. Jackson ready to go. Split backfield, gun snap, handoff. Levine trying to find the end zone for a second time, and he does. Touchdown. Sam Levine, he scored earlier from 2 yards out. He strikes here from 3. An impressive drive there for South, as they push the lead now up to 14-0 with 2:46 to go in this first half. Of course, the big play came through the air just a moment ago. Jackson to Levesque. And then it's Levine, or Levine, who finishes it off. Here's the kick up and good. It's Ioanu. I'm sorry. Right foot of Preston Boys. First kick attempt of the afternoon. South, on their previous touchdown, elected to go for 2 with a swinging gate play, but couldn't make it work. So they stick to the traditional extra point kick, and they make it a 15-0 game with 2:43 remaining. So Levine, a big first half. Not necessarily yardage-wise, but 2 touchdowns will certainly work. So 15-0 South. Ironically, that was their lead last week against Bishop Girton. They built up a 2-score lead against the Cardinals in that Week 1 win. Of course, BG came back to force overtime. Ultimately, South prevailed. This one kicked out of bounds. And a flag is coming here. It's been bearable in terms of the number of penalties. We got, 3 against Keene so far in this first half, only 1 up until now against Nashua South. They're going to assess this against the Purple Panthers.
Okay. Can it wait till halftime, you think?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Okay, thanks.
I want to get it out in the car, but I want to assess.
So,
Before.
Keene still with some time to work with here.
Sit right here.
They've got 2 timeouts remaining and 2:43 on the clock.
You don't understand what air conditioning does for this.
There's a blitz on first down. Iowano make that Lepley, runs right into the teeth of the blitz. Bounces right side and scratches out 3, maybe 4 yards up to the 40-yard line. Cole Patno out of the secondary makes the stop. 2nd down and 6.
Keene has a trainer, South has a trainer.
Clock ticking down towards 2 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have water?
Yeah, she's drinking Gatorade.
Okay.
Electrolytes. I wish she'd come over by the stage.
Abbott trying to direct traffic here in the gun. He's got a running back to his right. South again showing blitz. Handoff up the middle, and a big run there. Taken down at midfield by Tripp. Longest run, I believe, for Keene in the first half. Iowano had been stifled. Going to find a little bit of running room there. 11 yards and a first down. Meanwhile, a South player a little slow to get up. That's Kevin Hamill. I believe it's Hamill who is walking off the field. Again, very hot down on the field. 80-degree day, not a lot of wind. The entire field, end zone to end zone, in the sun right now. And it's hot up here as well, up here in the press box, in the upper section of the bleachers. That has not stopped this crowd from turning out. There's a standing student section with a jersey theme, apparently in effect for the South fans as well, on the left corner of the end zone. And then the Keene fans, they've made the travel as well, over an hour drive straight east, and are donning the orange and black on that far side. Meanwhile, 1st and 10, Lepley again, a right side run. The hole was there, but it closes. Another big play up front for Trevor Stevens. The junior has been active in the trench so far for South. Timeout, Coach Patno, a minute 30 to go. Going to stop the clock with an even 90 seconds remaining, with the football sitting at the South 47-yard line. So that leaves Coach Patno with just 1 timeout remaining. But this drive, one of the more promising of the first half for Keene. They really were not able to move the ball in that first quarter, did not manage to pick up their first down until the second quarter. But this drive here has a little bit of wheels, and Keene hoping to get into striking distance here over the final minute and a half.
Yeah, the field position for Keene is going to have to change. They've been playing constantly deep, within their own zone, Nick, and that's just uphill in the true sense of the word. And, if something can happen here for them, even just get on the board with a minute 30 left, it does change the complexion of the game a little bit in there. Kind of leaves you, leaving the first half in a better state of mind.
2nd down and 7. Lepley trying to navigate the waters to the right side. The edge collapses. Into Beasy. Blocked a punt earlier He's the first man there with the tackle. Lumley a little slow to get up after that 2-yard gain. 3rd and 5. Coach Patno going to let it tick at least for now.
There he goes.
And there he goes, yep. 3rd and final timeout here with 1:06. His club facing a 3rd and 5. Coming up at halftime, look back at the first half stats, highlights, analysis. A busy week 2 scoreboard to get to as well. A lot of action last night. Bedford, they're in action right now. Hopefully we can get a score there. Taking on Thornton Academy up in Maine. Here in Nashua. Nashua South, a 15-0 lead. Be the first 2-0 start in a while for Coach Knight's club. We have to look into the last time they started 2-0, but it's been a while, and obviously for a program that has a lot of history of winning.
Sure does.
A 2-0 start here is very promising in 2024.
Well, anytime schools split, Nick, what year did that happen? How many years ago was that? Was it 2004, 5?
I was going to say 05, but
yeah. And, for schools to split, it can go a long time without any success, but both of these programs have had success after the split. We saw the championship back in 2020 with North, and Coach Knight, through his son Trevor Knight's years, strong football team every single year. So a 2-0 start, with this group of guys would be a big lift and give them something to fight for week to week. But
3rd and 5. High snap for Abbott. Trying to make something happen on the keeper right side. He's going to end up 2 yards short. Gang tackled at about the 44. And Abbott spun down pretty violently there.
What teams look for, Nick, when they're in that mid-range, and I'm going to throw the last night's game, these two teams and others that get in the winning ways, but know that they have to, in order to take on the Iron League, Nick, they've got to progress and get better. But with time, they can do that each week. When you start coming out of the gate with a 2-0, 3-1, 4-1 record, it just motivates the whole program to that there's something to work and shoot for here. And it also gives home field in the quarterfinals. Oftentimes gives you home field advantage, at least in the preliminary. So
here's the punt by French on 4th down. Fair catch called for and made by Ladd at the 7 with 9 seconds remaining. Well, Keene, they kicked to begin the game, so the Blackbirds are set to receive the second half kick. I doubt, frankly, South is thinking about trying to make this work in the final 9 seconds here. We may just see a kneel down. But let's see. Jackson with Levine to his right. Man in motion on 1st and 10. They will run it. Kokonek trying to find the edge. Ridden out of bounds at about the 12. Escorted over the boundary by Colin Tinnan.
He was fighting for that first down. Give him credit. He lowered his shoulder and tried to turn upfield. And
that's going to do it. Halftime here at Stello Stadium. Nashua South looking good in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, and special teams. Add it all up, 15-0 at the midway point.
There you go. Nick, I mean, if you look at Keene, they've got to start taking some risk in offense, and that all starts correctly. He's doing the right thing when you're on your 2-yard line. It's very difficult to do, but if he can, if Coach Pat Noden crew and his team can get some better field position, they're going to have to open the field book, the playbook up just a little bit, because let's face it, South has done a good job just bottling up that running game that just gets nowhere, and you've got to spread the field out a little bit. Or at least open up the playbook to start having some play-action passes and things of that nature and trying to move the sticks, because it's not really working right now. As far as South is concerned, their offense has been working. I'm looking forward to hearing the yards, Nick, so I'm going to hold there. But that's just a quick assessment of the first half. I do believe that the heat definitely is wearing these guys down. It's going to be interesting to see how they hold up in the second half. I'd have a hydration person going around in the halftime just making sure these guys are loading up with fluids. But not the kind of pace we saw in the game last night. Last night there seemed to be a lot more intensity. This game has had little spots of intensity, but it's hot out there, and I think that some of this some of that is being taken away by they're trying to pace themselves and work their way through the field. Both of these teams, especially Keene, from what you can see, things drop off a little bit after the starting group. So, pacing yourself and making sure that you take the right amount of breaks and such, and kind of split the game up a little bit, try to stay on offense as much as you can, is going to be critical for them if they're going to have any chance of coming back in the second half.
All right. We'll add up all the numbers. Stats unofficial, of course, but we'll do the best we can. Plus recap. And they look around the state as well. Busy week number 2, both last night and games in action today as well. 15-0 Nashua South leading Keene at halftime. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
Well, welcome back here to Stello Stadium. Halftime in Nashua. Nick Anastas with you in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Nashua South with a 15-0 lead over Keene. As we get set for this third quarter, a game of field position in that first quarter, as both teams struggled to hang on to the football. 3 combined turnovers through the first 12 minutes kept the game scoreless. And then Keene, well, they had a punt blocked, as one of the Nashua South captains, Kevin Nudabisi, got his right hand on the punt. Football ended out of the back of the end zone. And South led 2-0 in the opening seconds of the second quarter. They pieced together 2 scoring drives in that frame, both capped off by the junior Sam Levine. A 2-yard touchdown run 3 minutes into the second quarter, and then a 3-yard score in the closing minutes. South failed on a 2-point try, converted on an extra point kick. And that is where we are at the break, 15-0. Cody Jackson, the junior quarterback, looked impressive. He did lose a fumble inside the 5-yard line, one of the 2 giveaways I mentioned in that first quarter, but nonetheless ends up with 50 yards on the ground and 89 through the air. The big highlight was a 42-yard hookup, which came in the second quarter. On the Keene side, not a whole lot of offense to report. Both backs, Aiden Iowanu and Sawyer Lepley, both held in check. Lepley 3 carries, 9 yards. Iowanu 5 for 11. And penalties hurt Keene a little bit more than South. 3 for 35 for the Blackbirds and 2 for 20 in that first half for Nashua South. And as we mentioned, 3 combined turnovers, 2 by South in that first quarter, and Keene lost a fumble on their opening drive as well. Well, it's a hot one out there, as we mentioned. Very humid. Almost no wind at all. The temperature about 80 degrees. Players so far have been able to hang in, but that's perhaps a storyline to watch in the second half. South with an overtime win last week and a chance to start 2-0 if they can hang on to the lead this week. Of course, they scored the first 15 points in their season opener against BG, but allowed the Cardinals to come back to tie the game in the second half before eventually pulling out a 21-15 overtime win on this field a week ago. And Keene, they were not challenged in a dominant 42-7 win over Spalding. Well, we touched on some of the other scores earlier in the broadcast. A busy night last night in Division I with the majority of the schedule slated for Friday night. And, well, I suppose the big takeaway was perhaps Alvern beating Salem by a score of 20-13. Blue Devils a surprising 0-2. Broncos 2-0 following wins over Salem and also Manchester Central back in the opener. So Alvern really on everybody's radar now. And it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out moving forward. The Broncos will play Timberlane next week in week number 3. We talked about Exeter, another strong win, a shutout win on this field over Nashua North, 36-0. The Blue Hawks with a 2-0 record out east. And Winnicott 2-0 in that conference as well, a 13-6 win over Spalding. on the heels of that season-opening victory against longtime rival Portsmouth. So a good start for Winnicott, for Alvern, for Exeter. Pinkerton, they picked up, of course, an out-of-state win in Week 1. They faced off against Portsmouth last night. Of course, Londonderry, they had a Massachusetts opponent last night as well. And then we've got some other D1 teams in action right now on Saturday afternoon. Concord is all over Central, 45-14. Another team perhaps a bit of a surprise at 2-0. Should they hang on? Still 10 minutes to go in that one, but a big lead of 45-14 for Concord. And Bedford, of course, the two-time defending Division I champs. They are out of state up in Scarborough, Maine, leading Thornton Academy 35-21 through 3 quarters. We're underway as the third quarter starts with a pretty good return by Lepley, who bowls his way over the 35 up to the 38-yard line. In fact, that is Keene's best starting field position so far this afternoon. They've got work to do, trailing 15-0. The offense kept in check. Just one completion for Kaysen Abbott through the air in that first half. Did pick up 10 yards on the ground. But all in all, just 30 combined rushing yards unofficially from that first half for Keene. Part of this defensive line, they've brought a lot of men into the box. They're going to rush 6 here against the quarterback keeper. Abbott maneuvers his way over the 40 up to the 43-yard line. That sets up, should be a second down and 4. Yep, they give him 6 officially. Abbott, the junior, played well last year as a sophomore. And this is one of the younger teams for Keene that Coach Pat Note has had. Pass, quick dump off, Lepley, first down. Met at the stick by 2 defenders, able to slice his way forward with a leaning effort. Ends up at the 49-yard line. Brought down by South's Nathan Case, who has been busy, the senior. First and 10 at the 49. 49, excuse me. Pump fake, Abbott going deep, trying to show off the arm, and it's nearly intercepted. Incomplete. Good coverage. Cole Patno had the inside track on that one. Sealed a little bit. Intended target there was Colin Tinnan. And again, Keene known for running the football. They don't throw very often. They threw, from what I gather, just 5 pass attempts last week and put up 42 points. You don't need to throw in that scenario, but may have to go to the air a little more frequently here in the second half, down 2 scores. See what they do here on second down and 10. 2 receivers, right side, 2 backs as well. They keep it with Abbott. Second effort gets him across the line of scrimmage and across midfield. Ends up at the south 46-yard line to set up a third down and a manageable 5 yards. After a 5-yard gain for Abbott. Second carry on the drive for the junior quarterback. 3rd and 5. South has won the third down battle. Really on both sides of the ball. Had some key third down conversions on both of their scoring drives in that second quarter. And they're going to hit Lepley at the line of scrimmage. Forward motion may get him down to the 44, but still well short of the 41, where he needed to go to get the first down. Tackle credited for Ray Karuru. Karuru checking in there from the edge. Junior with a good stop. 4th down and 3. Busy afternoon for the sophomore punter, Braden French, but he won't see action here. Lepley takes a direct snap. Flag on the play. If this thing stands, Keene's going to move the sticks, but it's an illegal shift. And that is a tough one to swallow if you're Coach Pat Node. First penalty either way since halftime. And this one wipes out a first down. Ball backed up to the 49-yard line. Same formation. We'll see if Keene punts it away this time. 2 men deep for Nashua South, Cabrera and Tripp. Good punt from French. It's going to angle, though, out of bounds. Lands beyond the boundary at the 20-yard line. That is where South will take over. 3 minutes gone by, third quarter, 15-0 is the Purple Panther lead. Offense back onto the field. Well, South will be in action on Friday night, short week this week. They'll take on their lone out-of-state opponent, that's Lowell. As Lowell makes the short drive over the border. And Keene, they'll take on Nashua North in Keene in week number 3. 1st and 10, back to the ground. Not a lot of room up front as that whole snap shut. I believe the ball carrier was Fish, who was busy in both the passing and rushing game in that first half. Fish grinds out 2. They fake to Levine. They pitch to Fish. Fish looks for the sideline. He's met at the 25 and dropped. Pretty good read by the linebacker Calkins, who has been busy cleaning things up at the second level. Calkins another tackle. And now 3rd down and 3 after a 5-yard gain for Fish. Jackson, meanwhile, may have just changed the play. He's going to drop back into the gun. Levine the back to his right. Going to throw slot right. Looking for Fish. It's off his fingertips. And incomplete. The sophomore may have heard the footsteps, so to speak. And as the defenders converge. So that one incomplete. 4th down and 3 officially. And the Nashua South punt unit is onto the field here. So both teams see their opening drives sputter here to begin the second half. Got a flag here from the back judge. Coach Patnode upset. This is against Keene. What was that, Coach?
I think illegal substitution or too many men on the field.
There may have been too many on the field. Either way, 5 yards assessed. Another penalty for Keene, another big one. As this gives Nashua South some new life. 1st and 10. Run right side for Levesque. Gain of 2. Levesque, only 7 on the ground in that first half, but 51 through the air. Had that big 42-yard catch that set up Nashua South's second touchdown late in the second quarter. Back to an empty set here. Hand off through the hole, and then some. Levine, stiff arm at midfield, is dragged down at the Keene 44-yard line. 22 yards up the gut for Levine on a day where he scores 2 touchdowns in the first half. Rips the longest rush play from scrimmage for South. Purple Panthers right back to it. They go right back to Levine, but he's dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Runs into the big arms of junior captain Evan Ray, senior captain. Of course, the Ray name familiar, or if you're familiar with the Keene program, you know the last name Ray. Emery, his older brother, came through a couple of years ago, was one of the state's best two-way linemen. And Evan has done his best to fill those shoes. Outstanding last year as a junior and is off to a good start this year as a senior. It's a keeper for Jackson. He's got room. He's got a first down. He's got the 30-yard line. He turns his back to the defense and still fighting down to the 26. Impressive run there. Goes for 8 and a first down. Another quick snap. They stay with Jackson, but this time he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Hunted down by Ioanu. Loss of 1 there. And again, South gets right to the line. It's been up-tempo all afternoon for Coach Knight in this group, trying to tire out the Keene defensive unit. We're heading towards the midway point third quarter. South of the 15-0 lead, threatening to get back into the red zone. It's a screen for Kochenek, who's going to squirm his way inside the 20-yard line, stopped again by Calkins. We got 3rd and 2 coming up. Handoff. Kochenek stood up and stuck. Ball may have come out at the 15. Keene says they have it. The officials agree. It's the 3rd takeaway for this Keene defense. 3rd fumble lost. By Nashua South. They surrendered 2 in the first quarter. Those also came inside the 20-yard line as well. Keene going to take over at the 16. So a promising drive derailed. I'm not quite sure who applied the hit, but it was a big enough hit to jar the football loose. So Keene keeps it a 2-score game. They take over at their own 16. They call a run play for the junior quarterback, Kason Abbott, who gallops his way up the sideline and steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. A gain of 9 there. That's his longest run from scrimmage today. Sets up a 2nd down and 1. Inside of now 6 minutes to go. Third quarter. South, a pair of 2 scores in the second quarter. Short runs from Sam Levine. 2 yards, 3 yards out. And a safety put South on the board in the opening minute of the second quarter. We had a scoreless first quarter and so far a scoreless third quarter as well. Inside of 6 minutes to go. On 2nd and 1, Keene stays with the ground. This is Peyton Gowell. I believe that's his first carry of the afternoon. He zigs and zags up to the 32 for a 7-yard gain. Senior co-captain looking good there out of the backfield. Brought down by Nashua South's Kevin Hamill. Keene, it took them a while to establish the run in that first half. Did not pick up a first down in the first quarter. And they have not been inside the red zone yet today. Trying to piece together a drive here as we head towards 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Option, keeper, Abbott. Across the 35 to the 38. Stopped there by Case. And Dubuisi in the area as well for South. He's had a big day on the edge and on special teams. Had the block punt, which led directly to the safety for South early in the second quarter. 2nd and 4. Left side run. Not much up the middle. It's Lepley. Just a 1-yard gain. 3rd down and 3. And 3rd down is where South has really rose to the forefront here today. Abbott straight ahead, second effort, gets him the first down. Hit low early by Nathan Case, but able to drag Case with him an extra 2 yards, and that makes the difference. Inside of 4 minutes, third quarter. Two receivers left side. Blitz up the middle. Hand off to Gowell. And a little room over left guard. Tripped up again by Hamill. Three-yard gain for Gowell. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. Well, again, last night we were out in Goffstown. Took it a good one between Bishop Girton and the Grizzlies. That game is up under our video section on our YouTube channel, FNLNH Media. Subscribe. Hit the like button as well while you're there. But that one a good one to revisit. A true back-and-forth battle. Meanwhile, Abbott going to bring up third down after a short gain of just one. Case has been everywhere defensively for South. Another tackle for number 30 in purple. Third and 6. We head towards 2 minutes. Abbott again, right side, gets a key block, but not going to get there. Spun down shortly after crossing midfield. Josh Tripp with a good open field tackle. Abbott trying to shake off a stinger, it looks like, as he jogs slowly to that far sideline. His team now facing a 4th down and 3. Abbott has led Keene in rush attempts today. Will they stay with the quarterback here? Fullback Iwano directly behind him. They go instead to Lepley, and he's got the first down. Needed the 44. They give him needed the 46. They give him the 45. 4-yard gain there for Lepley. Final minute 20 here, third quarter. Still a 15-0 lead on the board for South. That was our score at halftime. This drive began back at the Keene 16. One of the more promising drives of the afternoon for the visitors. Pitch to Gowell. Makes a man miss at the edge with a spin move and ends up down to the 40-yard line. A 5-yard gain, something out of nothing there. Fish credited with the stop out of the secondary. And while Gowell starting to become a bigger and bigger piece of the rushing attack for Keene. I don't believe he had a carry in the first half. He's got 3 for 15 in this third quarter. Final 25 seconds. This may be the last play of the third quarter. We'll see. Two receivers, short side left. They'll throw left out of the backfield. Lepley the catch at the 40, lowers the shoulder, thunders his way down to the 37. Met along the sideline by Case. Big collision there. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 2 when we come back. We've got a 2-score game heading into the fourth quarter. Can Nashua South hang on and improve to 2-0 for the first time in a while? Or does Keene find some road magic to steal one before they head back for that long trip west? We find out next. Fourth quarter. On the other side, Nashua South 15, Keene 0. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
15-0 is the Nashua South lead as we head down the final stretch here in the Gate City. 12 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter about to begin. Somebody's got to lose. The winner escapes 2-0 and joins a growing list of 2-0 teams in Division I. The loser licks their wounds and falls back to 500 at 1-1. South scored all 15 of their points in the second quarter. And on third and short, they get a big defensive effort here by Levine. Lepley nowhere to go. In fact, he loses a yard. Now 4th and 4. Now closer to 4th and 3. On the way for Keene. And this one, I believe, an easy decision here for Coach Patnode. He'll likely keep the offense back on the field. In fact, gives his decision directly to junior quarterback Kason Abbott, who jogs back into the Keene huddle. Abbott, as I mentioned before the break, he's been the lead ball carrier out of the backfield. Well, they keep it in his hands here. South loads the ball. It's a trap play, and in the hole, the tackle is made by Fish, and that's the difference. Eli Kopka, on his first carry of the afternoon, couldn't find the running room. He stopped at the 37-yard line, and the Purple Panthers will take over. First and 10. Levesque, left side, bottled up by Olivio. Just a yard there. Levesque busy today. Had a long 42-yard catch in that first half. Ended up with 51 receiving yards at halftime. Here's a screen for Diego Cabrera. And a good open field tackle by Griffin Yardley. Sophomore has played well out of the secondary. Get 3 there through the air. Keene hoping to force a 3 and out. Jackson rolls right, throws, and a sliding catch made at midfield for a first down. 8-yard gain through the air. As Sam Levine, who scored both Nashua South touchdowns in that first half, comes up with his second grab of the game. 8 more passing yards added to Cody Jackson's total. And this high-tempo offense stays right at the line of scrimmage. First and 10, Levine. Second and third effort bring him down to the Keene 45-yard line. Chopped down by Kopka. They get 5 on the counter. Levine touchdowns from 2 yards out and from 3 yards out back in that second quarter. Both touchdowns came on the heels of a safety. The safety, a direct result of a block punt the first few seconds of the second quarter. That has been the only scoring either way all afternoon. Meanwhile, Levine, he's still up. Officials never blew the whistle. Knee never touched. He ends up down inside the 25-yard line when it's all said and done at the 22. An 18-yard run on a heads-up play there by Sam Levine, the junior. Now it appears as Jackson is going to change the play. South slows down the pace just a bit. They throw a screen pass, and it's dropped by Cabrera. Yardley bearing down on him, forcing Cabrera to perhaps take his eye off it. Ends up on the turf and incomplete. That stops the clock with just over 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. South on a day where they turned it over 3 times. 2 of them came inside the 20. They go back into the red zone here via the ground game. It's Levine who spins his way inside the 15. Ends up after another hard run down at the 12-yard line. 11 more for Levine. Braden French, the sophomore, with the tackle. South back to the line, ready to go. Loaded left side with 3 receivers. They stay with Levine, though. Hit in the hole, still on his feet. Inside the 10, they whistle him down where? At about the 9-yard line. 4 more for Levine, who's becoming the workhorse on this drive. Had 22 yards total in that first half. Ripped off a 22-yard run and then some on this drive alone. Jackson on the option, hit at the 5, trying to smell that end zone. A lunging effort leads him a yard short. That is close to a first down as well. Calkins, who has been busy, a man run ragged defensively for Keene, may have saved the touchdown there. Jacob Bucher in the area as well. The sophomore showing some grit. And now we have an official's timeout as they look for the measurement. Our broadcast brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Visit BealsInsurance.com. Also by MG Sports Fundraising. That's fundraising made easy. MG Sports Fundraising is the official fundraising partner of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. Visit MGSportsFundraising.com. Start raising money for your team today. Also by the New Hampshire Tomahawks. Showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NHTomahawks.com and also girls.NHTomahawks.com. And finally by Colonial Printing. Family-owned business for over 50 years. Start your next project at colonialprintingnh.com. Nick and Astis with you. The chain gang is out on the field, and it appears like South is an inch or two short with the football just shy of the 2-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and inches. 4.5 gone by, fourth quarter. South threatening to really strike a blow here. Points of any kind would make this a 3-score game. 3rd and inches. Handoff. Levesque left side. Bounces. Gets hit at the 2. And is driven down very close to the first down marker. They're going to say, in fact, he's short. Well, 3rd and inches turns into 4th and inches. And now Jackson lines up under center. We get a flag. Quarterback sneak. If it stands, I think works for South, but we have an illegal shift against the offense. First penalty of the second half against South in just a third of the game. But this one, very costly. 4th and inches turns into 4th and 5. So Keene gets a gift and a little more breathing room for the defense. 4th and 5 from the 6-yard line. 5 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Clock starting to become a factor as well. This could be Keene's last stand. They need to stop. Here is Jackson. Handoff right side. Levine, touchdown, number 3. Well, fitting that it's the junior who crosses the goal line. He was the bell cow on that drive, and he shows you how to finish. Able to lean forward, get that motion going. He's in the end zone for the 3rd time. It's a hat trick for the junior. And that may have been a death blow for Keene. It's now a 21-0 Nashua South lead. The kick unit is on. Preston Boyce will try and nail this one. He's 1 for 1 on the day. A big kick, a lofty kick is up and good straight down the middle. So 22-0. As Nashua South adds to their lead with a lengthy drive, capped off by a 6-yard run on 4th down by Sam Levine on a day where the junior has found pay dirt 3 times. Both a clock-killing and momentum-killing drive there for Nashua South, as Keene is really between a rock and a hard place now. Well, you can hear the Nashua South Marching Band. They were here early. They marched, playing the whole way from the high school, which is about a mile or so down the road, maybe a little further. Did a great job with the national anthem. And they have fired up this crowd throughout the afternoon. Meanwhile, a flag here. This kick is blown dead. A Panther special teamer may have left early. Indeed, somebody crossed the 40 too early. Fourth penalty against the home team, 4 for 30 so far this afternoon. Keene 5 for 45. Another kick for Boyce, and another line drive effort that bounces out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Saw that once in the first half. We see it here again. Well, again, difference, I suppose, between last week and this week for Nashua South is they did not surrender the lead. Scored the first 15 against the Cardinals in the season opener of Bishop Girton before eventually having to win it in overtime, 21-15. Today, 15-0 at halftime, scoreless third quarter, and a big drive capped off a moment ago with a 6-yard touchdown. I suppose the goal now for Scott Knight's team would be to come away with the shutout. Can they hold Keene off the board as they have throughout the afternoon? Can they do it for another 7 minutes of game time? If you're Keene, I suppose you want to get on the board for obvious reasons, one of them being momentum. They're going to play Nashua North next week in Keene in week number 3. While South will play host to Lowell, an out-of-state opponent. Lepley on the re-kick. Makes his way over the 40 all the way to the 44-yard line. A good return there for Sawyer Lepley, the senior. And this one results in one of the better starting field positions for Keene this afternoon. Lepley has battled, has had a little more success in the second half, on the ground anyway, than he did in the first. South really made it a point to bottle him up. Back to the grind here for Kaysen Abbott. His team down 3 scores, 22-0 as we near the midway point, fourth quarter. It's a screen for Lepley, makes one man miss and ends up over midfield. Pretty good juke offered at the line of scrimmage after the grab. Going to get 7 there. Call it 6. Third catch for Lepley today. Second down and 4. Keene playing with a little more tempo, getting to the line a little more quickly. Here's a bullet. Good throw. Comes on the run, across the body. Catch made by Eli Kapka. It's getting 9. So Keene going to the air here. 2 straight plays, and that leads to a timeout from Coach Knight. I assume he wants to address the secondary here as the Keene pass game starting to come alive here midway through this fourth quarter. Just over 6 minutes remaining. Well, as I mentioned, we're online. We're live every weekend with a doubleheader. Friday night / Saturday afternoon in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. Got a player down here for Nashua South. That may be Ndebisi, who's been so good today defensively, really everywhere. He's on the O-line as well. He had the special teams block, or the punt block that led to the safety. And good to see the youngster on his feet as he looks to shake off what looks like a nagging leg injury. He's giving it his best to get over to the sideline unassisted. And the senior going to take a quick seat on the sideline in some pain here, hoping to get stretched out. Maybe a cramp. Again, very humid today. Unseasonably hot in week number 2 statewide. 1st and 10, Abbott drops the snap, picks it up, throws it downfield, and there's the catch at the 10-yard line. Spun down inside the 5 goes Sawyer Lepley. They're going to mark him where? At the 2-yard line, a 37-yard strike through the air. 3 straight completions for Abbott. Lepley with 4 grabs. That's Keene's longest play from scrimmage today. And it puts the Blackbirds in a spot now on a 1st and goal to get in to the end zone and put some points on the board. Taking down towards 5 minutes. They reward Lepley with a carry. He takes a bounce at the 1 and ends up short of the goal line. Couldn't break the plane. An immediate snap to the quarterback. Abbott, somewhere at the bottom of that pile, is very close. He lost the football, and South has it. Wow. What a turn of events there. Bruno Goncalves may have caused it. He was certainly the last man to get up from underneath the pile. Let's take another look. Abbott never quite had his footing. Second effort. Gets him close. Hard to see where the ball came out. You can see there trying to protect it with the right arm, but I don't know if that's Case who may have punched it loose. Somebody just ripped it out of his hands. The man who came away with the ball is Colvin Levesque. Meanwhile, South begins to drive at their own 1-yard line. They keep it with Jackson, who leans forward for maybe a foot. Football is still inside the 1-yard line. The important thing for South is that the clock continues to tick. We're inside of 5 minutes. The shutout still intact, 22-0. Now the Purple Panthers hope to avoid a mistake in their own end zone. Well, nearly a safety, but Goncalves able to keep his balance long enough to escape the end zone and work back to the 1-yard line. The line of scrimmage. So 2 run plays, no yards, 3rd and 10. Clock ticking down towards 4 minutes. Jackson out of the gun, looks left, throws left, caught. Levesque to the 5 and no further. Tackle by Lepley. Colin Tinnon is there as well for the stop. It goes for 3 yards. So 4th down and 7. And now a very precarious punt on the way here for South, pinned in their own end zone. Well, Keene is going for the block here. Nobody back to return. Coach Knight going to use as much of the play clock as possible. And they'd be, of course, okay taking a penalty here as well. Be half the distance to the goal. The football is, well, they say it's on the 4, but it's more like the 3. Let's see. There's the delay of game. Yeah, in reality, that's a 1.5-yard penalty. .303 to go. Keene just about out of time, hoping the special teams can somehow come up with a play here. We've got a timeout on the field. Coach Knight going to use the timeout. He's seemingly upset about something. Been on the job a long time, over 20 years. Made a difference here. His son Trevor came through the program about 10 years ago or so. And they were on that short list of contenders in Division I while he was here. Of course, Knight went on to play quarterback at the University of New Hampshire. And Scott, his father, is settled in here as the head man, the head of the program for Nashua South. And been a couple of years since they've had a winning season, but they're on the verge of a 2-0 start. They can hang on to this 22-0 lead over the final 3+ minutes. And of course, they face an out-of-state opponent next week in Lowell. High snap, and just barely getting off the kick is the punter, Boyce. Nobody back for Keene. It takes a home roll where it stops at about the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Well done all in all by South. It leaves Keene with 2:50 to go. Coming up after the game, stats, highlights, analysis, out-of-town scoreboard. Bedford closing in on another win up in Scarborough, Maine. And unofficial stats as well, so a lot to get to coming up after the game. 1st and 10, Keene. Perhaps one final chance to get on the board here. Been a busy day for Kaysen Abbott, who's been the leading rusher and passer for the visitors. Takes a gun snap here, going to air it out. Hit as he throws, and this one is intercepted by Diego Cabrera. The senior got the inside position on the intended target, Colin Tinnon. Timed the jump right, able to shield the would-be receiver and haul it in, securing it to the ground. Third takeaway by the Purple Panther defense. Turnovers are even at 3 apiece on the afternoon. So South will take over at their own 13-yard line with 2:44 to go following the interception by Diego Cabrera. Four receivers, 3 strong side left on 1st and 10 from the 13. No surprise here as Coach Knight sticks with the run game. It's Levine who adds another carry to his impressive total. He's got 3 touchdowns today. Tack on another 2 there, but more importantly, trigger that clock. 2:20 and counting here in Nashua. And again, the home team going to milk that play clock. Inside of 2 minutes now to go in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down and 8, Jackson handoff. I think this is Levine, not sure. Whoever it was, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Cameron Olivo with another tackle and now a timeout here from Keene. So Keene uses their first timeout with 101 seconds remaining. Second down and 8 coming up. Reminder, tune in Thursday nights throughout the course of the football season. Live at 6 o'clock every Thursday night. It's FNL Gridiron. It's presented by Beals Insurance. We preview the upcoming week with coaches, media members, sometimes players. Exclusive stuff that you won't find anywhere else. It's every Thursday night, 6 o'clock Eastern, FNL Gridiron, presented by Beals Insurance. Out of the timeout, third down and 8, back to the air for Jackson. Throws down the seam, and a great defensive effort's going to knock this away. Incomplete. Leppel. Not Leppel, Lepley. Good recovery speed there. Times the jump right, gets the right hand on it. As you can see there, steps in front of the intended target. Trip at the last minute, denying Trip what would have been his fourth catch. Fourth down and 8. $1:35 to go. South about to punt the football. Still with a comfortable lead on the board, 22-0. Boyes standing at his own 3-yard line. He's got to reach down low to get that one. But does get it off. Takes a bounce along the near sideline. Out of bounds where? At what looks like the 44-yard line of South. So, minute 27. Keene 2 timeouts remaining. And again, hoping to close this one out on a high note. It appears like a victory maybe out of their grasp at this point with just 87 seconds. But if you can avoid the shutout, well, that's kind of a consolation prize. We'll see if Abbott and company can get it done. 4-man rush. Abbott rolls to his right and throws incomplete. Trying to find Kapka on the rollout. A little pressure there from Cole Patno, who's played well today. Second down and 10. Well, again, Keene will return home and look to earn their second win next week against Nashua North. Titans, meanwhile, are 0-2. And as we mentioned, South will look to sharpen their swords against Lowell in an out-of-state meeting here at Stellos. A check to Lepley. Lepley is undercut at the 40. Hit by Levine. Lands at the 39 after a 5-yard gain through the air. Clock running now, minute 10. And Coach Patno going to use his second timeout right here. Well, a pretty good day for Cody Jackson, the quarterback for Nashua South. Not going to check into the scoring per se. All the touchdowns came on the ground today for the home team, but did throw for 89 yards in that first half. Pieced together a string of 4 straight completions here in this fourth quarter. 108 yards unofficially through the air and 57 more on the ground. He did lose a fumble back in the first quarter. But all in all, an efficient performance for the junior Cody Jackson, who's about to be 2-0. And as we mentioned, his counterpart, Kason Abbott, much more active both on the ground and through the air in this second half. Would love to add a touchdown to his resume here. Third down and 5. The junior rolls out, now accelerates. Sidesteps his way out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Nine-yard gain and a first down. We're inside of a minute now, 55 seconds to go. Two receivers right side, two backs join Abbott in the backfield. It's been the look more often than not for Keene. Here's a blitz up the middle. It's picked up. And this one incomplete. Little dump-off pass that hit the ground, intended for Gowell. Stops the clock with 51 seconds to go. Well, Keene still competing here. The game virtually out of reach. Still going hard, still trying to improve snap by snap. And again, looking for some points to show for their effort today. Second down and 10. Abbott steps up and lets it rip. Far side, it's picked off. Colvin Levesque able to get in front of that one and pick it off. That is the fourth takeaway today by the Purple Panther defense. Second interception of this fourth quarter. .45 seconds remain. And we'll see if South wants to even run anything here. Again, they're pinned back inside their own 4-yard line. You may see a knee here. It looks like a victory formation. Jackson is going to go under center. Keene's defense a little late arriving onto the field. Jackson takes the knee. Clock is triggered. We're now inside of 30 seconds. Well, you can see the youngster down there, Justin Fish, who played well today. A little upset his team didn't just go for it all there on that last snap when Keene wasn't ready. But Coach Knight knows better, does the classy thing, ends it with a knee, and that's going to do it here from Stello Stadium. 22-0 is the final as Nashua South improves to 2-0 for the first time in a while. Keene, they slip back to 1-1. Coming up, stats, highlights, analysis, scoreboard, the whole 9 yards on the other side. You are watching our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. How can you reach your team's fundraising goals at no risk and no cost? MG Sports offers a variety of products to make your team's fundraiser a success. Their products include discount tickets, cards, and calendar raffles to hundreds of local merchants throughout the New England area. Don't waste another season. Raise more funds than ever before and become another football program in New Hampshire that sets fundraising records every season. MG Sports, fundraising made easy. Visit mgsportsfundraising.com to start raising money for your team today. Colonial Printing is family owned and celebrating 50 years of quality print services for New Hampshire businesses and can help yours as well. Whether it's creative design, digital or offset printing, or banners and signs, with state-of-the-art technology, unlimited industry sources, and the ability to think outside the box, Colonial Printing will help you get your job done. To see their full list of services, promo products, and portfolio, or to request an estimate, visit colonialprintingnh.com. That's colonialprintingnh.com.
Nashua South with a win, 22-0 over Keene, the final in our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. Turnover-filled first half. In fact, a combined 7 giveaways in this one before it's all said and done. Game of field position and takeaways in that first quarter. The result, no score as we headed to the second. Then we had a block punt as Kevin Nabisky and Debuezy got the block punt, came out of the end zone, 2-0 South, just a couple of seconds into the second quarter. Then the first of 3 touchdowns for junior Sam Levine. 2-yard score midway through that second quarter made it 8-0 after the 2-point try failed. And then late in the second quarter, Levine strikes again from 3 yards out. 15-zip. South's lead at halftime. No score in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, Levine goes for the hat trick and gets it. A 6-yard touchdown run on fourth down. Virtually put this one to bed. 5 minutes into the fourth quarter, our final 7 minutes were scoreless. Final numbers, unofficial, of course. Sam Levine, 3 touchdowns, 80 yards on the ground, 98 all-purpose, in what was an outstanding effort for the big running back. The quarterback, as I mentioned, Cody Jackson, had 89 through the air in the first half. Over 100 is where he finishes. Did have the fumble loss, but all in all was in control of the offense. And on the other side for Keene, Kason Abbott leads the way with 53 yards on the ground, 60 through the air, but did throw the 2 interceptions, both coming in the fourth quarter. Sawyer Lepley with a good effort, 33 on the ground, 51 through the air. Keene looks to rebound at home next week against Nashua North. That's a Friday night game. And Nashua South plays host to out-of-state opponent Lowell, also on Friday night here at Stello Stadium. I want to thank Lisa Gingras and her staff here for making it easy for us, as usual. Good to see Jason Roby and everybody else affiliated with Stello Stadium. Appreciate them. For our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire crew, that includes Kristen Beals. We hope she gets better soon. Of course, the other 2 videographers this afternoon, John Barron and Matt Beals. For my partner, Steve Beals, and the director, the man behind the curtain, the wizard of replay, Ben Beals, my name is Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time. Nashua South 22, Keene nothing. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.